Hi, I'm Dr. Norma Hollis, and I am delighted to be a part of the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Summit. I'm going to be talking to you today about speaking and how you can take the message that resides in your soul and turn it into a successful business. So hold on a minute. I'm going to turn on my slides and I'm going to be right with you. I'm going to be talking to you today about my rapid speaking system, how I got it started, why I'm doing it, and actually why I'm doing it is for you. Because if you are tired to figure out how to gain success in your career, especially if your career is speaking, and maybe you've been using the same material for years and you're ready to add a deeper layer to your work. Because if you're talking about doing your soul's message, that's a deeper layer, right? And maybe you want to be more engaging with your audience and with your clients. And maybe you've had enough of trying to figure it out for yourself because it's not easy. I remember in my journey, sometimes I thought, all I have to do is one more thing. How many times have you thought that? And then it's going to be working just perfectly. And it takes 5 or 10 more things, and maybe still not working right. And maybe you've spent thousands of dollars, as I have, and haven't really emerged as the authentic speaker, coach, or leader that you really know you want to be and that you can be. And maybe you're tired of cookie cutter training programs because they can be just cookie cutter and not customized for you. Well, if you're tired of that, I would like to introduce you to myself. Les Brown is one of the people who has given me some endorsements. And I have, he says, I've met many speakers who've been inspired by what he calls the Norma factor, my deep desire, the authentic desire to help others, coupled with the deep wisdom and knowledge of the human development industry. I do have a positive impact on numerous change agents and according to him, I'm a valuable resource for the community and for the industry. I hope you will find that in the presentation I'm going to share with you. A few little notes about me. I am the first Black woman to have owned a speaker bureau for Black speakers. I opened that in 1996, a few years ago, and ran it for 14 years. In that process, I also developed the first Black online directory of Black speakers online. I'm the author of the book, The Process to Become a Professional Speaker, that can be found on my website, normahollis.com. And I've been coaching speakers for 30 plus years. I do speak internationally. I am a thought leader internationally. What I love to do is write programs for human development. And this rapid speaking system I'm about to share with you is a program that I've written for speakers. So as you can see, Les Brown has interviewed me on his show, and we do stay in contact, and he is a remarkable person to learn from. And I hope you become remarkable in your speaking as well. But for now, let me share with you the rapid speaking system. And it's based on the acronym of the word rapids, and that includes the S in the word speaking. When I coach speakers, I coach them toward an acronym, because when you have an acronym that is definitive of your work, then you know exactly what to speak about because you speak on the acronym, as you'll see me doing on this presentation. But just so you understand what the acronym means, the R stands for what is your real message? That's what you want to share with the public. You want to share what is the real message that's in your heart, in your soul. A lot of people look at it as what's in their head, and while that's important as well, it's what's in your heart that really touches people. And I refer to it as connecting with your authentic self, and your message should be related to your authenticity. The A in RAP is who's your audience? Who's the target market you're seeking to reach? It's really important that you know who you're seeking to reach, what age they are, where they live, how much money they have, what kind of work they do, where do they hang out, do they have a certain ethnicity, a certain language style? What is it about them? Both in the demographics, like age and where they live, and in the psychographics, like how do they feel? What do they like? What do they hate? Things of that nature. The presentation is to clarify your presentation style, making sure the presentation that you're sharing is aligned with who you are. That you know how to monetize the message that you're sharing, you know how to market it, and you have the support of automation. There's so many automated ways to do business now that you're not doing everything yourself. You have an automated system worked out there for you. So let's talk first about the R, which is the real message, your authentic message that comes from within your soul. And a few quotes, Plato, many millennials ago, a wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he has to say something. I want you to be the wise person. That's, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Be a wise woman, be a wise man, and speak because you have a message that you understand, not just to fill the void with words. Make sure your words are potent and powerful. Grasp the subject, and the words will follow. That is true. The words are in your heart. Your heart leads you, and the words follow to where your heart leads you when you're soulful in your approach. And Maya Angelou, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Hint, hint, as you speak, your message is about helping people feel your message, feel better, feel the experience, leave with a feeling different, preferably better than the one they walked in with. So helping you find and share your authentic message is important in the real. And let me just mention too, that it's important to get your message straight before you go into all the other parts of becoming a professional speaker or getting your message out in the world. One of the reasons why I wrote this program for Rapid Speaking System is because when I had my bureau, I saw so many people who were convinced that they needed to market themselves. And of course, marketing is important, but it's not effective to market yourself before you're clear on your message. Because what will happen is your message will change and you will spend more money marketing all over again. So what really is best is if you start your marketing after you have your message and other things in place, beginning with the message and the next few things I'm going to share with you. So again, your message comes from your passion. What drives you? What makes you excited? What really gets you upset? What is your passion? What are you passionate about? Because the better speakers you make people feel when your passion comes out. So what is your passion? You combine that with your experience. Maybe your experience, excuse me, maybe your experience is that you were raised in a strange situation, or maybe you had something unusual happen to you as a child. It was different than the normal experience that people go through. What's been your experience that makes you different, that you think about regularly, that you try to heal from or run away from even? What's been your experience? What has helped to shape your life? What experiences? Maybe that's what you should be talking about. Maybe it's your expertise. Where's your wisdom come from? What have you been doing for many years? What kind of job have you had? What kind of work have you done? That's the foundation of connecting with your real message. Very important. Number two, who's your audience? Who are the people that you should be speaking with? And I use the word should. I don't like to use the word should a lot. But if you want to be successful in this speaking part, you want to make sure that you know who should be hearing your message. Who is your audience? Who is your target market? One of the things we suggest you do is decide your client avatar. By that, if you're already working and speaking and doing some of the things of your heart, who are the people who you attract? Is there one person you can identify that has bought a lot of your things or followed up with you many times that you know is someone would buy if you offered something? Who is that person? What age are they? What do they look like? What kind of work do they do? Where do they live? What kind of car do they drive? Identify as much as you can about them. And that helps you to know your avatar. And the different elements that make up that person are elements in the persons that are in your target market. Your avatar represents your target market, your best target market. And you want to identify that as much as possible. And the truth is, you may have more than one market. Oftentimes we do as speakers, I know for me, my topic is authenticity. One of my markets is speakers like yourself. Another market is coaches. Another market is organizations. Another market is parents of preschool children. These represent the experiences, the passion, and the expertise that I have. So I make my work, my marketing more towards my main message of authenticity, but I can modify it for however I want to expand the message. And then where do you find your people? When you know who they are, then you can figure out where they hang out and therefore where you can find them. These are very important for identifying who you're going to work with and how you're going to find them. If you say, my audience is everybody that wants to feel good. Well, take a dart and try to put it into a target that says feel good, and you might miss. Everyone may not know they want to feel good. And maybe you want to work with people who are retiring, or maybe you want to work with high school students. Big difference in the audience, big difference in your message. It's going to be geared differently versus someone that's in the middle of their work career and working almost every day. You need to be clear on who is your audience. So that's the R and the A of the Rapids. That's the R and the A of the Rapids acronym. Now I want to take you to the P. And the P is your presentation. How will you share your message? There are so many ways today that you can share your message. You can be live on stage, microphone, suit. This is the style that was used for many, many years. And this would be more of a corporate style for people who are going to a corporate organization. This style is far more casual, sitting on a stool, without a back, no suit, very casual, with a mic in his hand. See the different energy that each puts out? So the one on the left might not be suited for a formal corporate group. It might be suited for a young millennial corporate group where they have a more relaxed environment, and the gentleman in the suit would be for a more formalized area. Now, maybe you want to work from home. Maybe you're a podcaster, or maybe you do webinars, or maybe you do telesummits, or maybe you do something of that nature that's more online, where you can be more casual and be unseen or only see a portion of you. That may be where you're most comfortable. It's really important to know where your comfort lies, because where your comfort lies is where you're going to be most effective. Because again, it's about how you make people feel. Maybe you use a presentation format where you need a screen. That's a different kind of setup and energy and presentation than it is otherwise. One of the things that I like to tell people is to, as much as possible, do not stand behind a podium, because again, it's how you make people feel. And you make people feel through your energy. And a podium blocks some of your energy. And I think you want to share most of it. Maybe you are doing Zoom calls, for example, and there's more people involved. That may mean a different type of presentation. It might mean that you have to put your makeup on, ladies, rather than be more behind the scenes, and how you look and feel. And also your background is going to be important as well. How you set up your Zoom, how you set up yourself to be recorded on Zoom and otherwise. And maybe you're very casual. Maybe it's a small group, a women's group, for example, and maybe it's in someone's home or in a small environment, and you can be very casual, similar to the gentleman on the stool sitting very casual in a chair. Or maybe it's a panel of more people. Maybe that's where you are most comfortable, or maybe you never do panels. What's most comfortable for you? And maybe it's more like a coaching environment where it's more one-on-one. There are so many ways you can present. You need to know which way you are most comfortable with, and therefore which one you want to put forward. Now, the I in Rapids is about your income. And income is from two perspectives. One, what's your fee? What's your speaking fee? What's your coaching fee? What's your consulting fee? What's your consultation fee? Whatever it is your main source of income. What is your fee? And secondly, what are your prices? And then what are your services? You want to know what your services are. In speaking, we have something that we call back of the room sales. And this means after you speak, you make an offer to your audience so that they purchase one of your services. One of the philosophies around that is that you can't share everything that you know in 20 minutes, or even in an hour, or even in a day. So if you want people to go deeper into your materials, you want to have something for them to take with them, such as a book that you might sell. That's why a lot of people write books, because it gives more information beyond what you're sharing on the presentation. But there are many other things that you can do as well. I have a list of them. Let's talk about these. You can do coaching. Now, coaching really means that you get certified as a coach. A lot of people say, well, I got divorced, so I can coach on divorcing. But really, it's more than that. We really want you to understand the energy of coaching, the nuances of coaching, how to speak with people, how to really come to people from where they're at. These are very important in the coaching field. And there are many companies out there that will certify you. I certify people as authenticity coaches after you have your original coaching certification, because I want you to come in already as a coach. And then I teach you how to work with the authenticity program that I wrote, which is a different piece than this one I'm teaching you now. But my point is, there are many ways you can get certified, and it's important that you do have some training if you're going to go into coaching. Likewise with speaking, some people are born speakers, but there's things you learn about speaking as you go, either through your experience or through your training, that make you a better speaker. And so I always advise that no matter what you want to do, that these things, particularly that are rather independent, because you make your own decisions and you're kind of doing them independently by yourself, that you get some training and certification on them. It'll only make you better. Training is another thing. Training is something where you're bringing a group together. The two that I just mentioned, you're kind of by yourself. In training, you're bringing a group together. What as you do is speaking as well, but you're sharing more specifics. You're generally more general in speaking. You're more motivating, inspiring, getting them as a foundation. But in training, you're generally teaching something more detailed, more specific. It takes a deeper level of knowledge, and it generally takes a little bit more time to get the training done. Summits are done where someone organizes around a theme similar as the one we're doing now about health, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And then they bring different speakers in to speak on that. So you could be one of the speakers, as I am now, or you could be someone who arranges and organizes a summit. It is a little bit of work. You need to be very organized, but it is another way that you can earn a living using speaking. Telesummits are very much like summits, but they're more done on the phone or done online. Telesummit is actually an older word. I don't think they use that word as much anymore as they use just general summits, because we do so much on Zoom these days. Webinars also done on Zoom, a little more structured. What I'm doing today is a webinar that I have done before. It's positioned as a webinar. I'm not really treating it entirely that way because I'm doing it on a summit. But this is what you can do once you get the PowerPoint presentation done. You can repurpose it for different reasons. This way, I did not have to prepare everything. I just could go to my files, make a few modifications and what have you, and then present it to you. The information is still solid, and I hope you find great value in it. You can also do challenges. This has been very popular lately, a 3 or 5 day challenge where you bring people on for maybe an hour on a Zoom call and you teach them something, and then you challenge them to do something. Like you challenge them to go out and make $5 tomorrow or something like that. As simple as that. Or it could be go out and find a house to buy in the next week. It could be anything, whatever it is your expertise is, you can share with people and put it as a challenge. Gives you a chance to share with them, gives you a chance to add more names to your database, and also to bring them back another day and then to upsell them for something else you may have to offer for them. Masterminds is where you share your expertise for 1 or more days with a group of people, a small group, and you mastermind together. You help them to figure out a situation, and they help others in the mastermind group to do that. You're focusing on one general area of expertise, and you're sharing with each other to mastermind together, share the minds together to get a resolution. And VIP days is where you take many of the things that you've learned, you bring a client in for 1 solid day, they spend the whole day with you, you charge them more than you normally would for a smaller program, and they leave very satisfied after the end of a full day, getting their questions answered, maybe taking them traveling somewhere in your community, meeting them to other individuals, whatever it is you compose your VIP day of, this is what you're going to be doing there. So there are so many ways to make income. And I've only mentioned a few. There are a lot more that especially you young people that are very familiar with the internet can figure out and do on your own. People make money from TikTok, from YouTube, and all the other social media channels. So there's a lot of information about that. That's not my expertise, but it is the expertise of many people, maybe yours. So I suggest you look into that as well. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is how important it is that content is your primary focus. Because if you really want income in this industry, it's going to be important that you leverage your knowledge. Leverage your knowledge. So on the left side, you see here someone that maybe has one level of content. So or maybe they position it in two ways. So they got two little pies going, one with a huge piece and one with a somewhat smaller piece. But someone who's leveraged has multiple income sources. You know, when COVID hit a few years ago, people whose content looked more like the one on the right had more chances for financial survival or financial growth than the ones on the left. And so that strictly means that the more you leverage, the more you take your content and turn it into maybe a webinar and maybe a master class and maybe a seminar or put it on a summit, the more ways you leverage your message, the more income sources you will have. Start with one. Start with the one that's easiest, and both easiest for you to prepare, easiest for you to present, easiest for you to sell, whatever that might be. Start there. Do the best you can with that. Get that going well, and then begin to add some more. They will come naturally over time as you continue to do this work. You can ask your people that hear you speak what they feel was missing or what you might be able to add in your presentations or what they would like to hear more of. You can have, there's many ways to query the people who are enjoying your message to learn from them how you can leverage it and expand it and therefore gain more income from it. Then we get to the D in Rapids, and that's distribution, which is essentially marketing. Distribution is getting your stuff out there. Marketing is getting people to understand and see your stuff, and they're very much aligned. But what it means is that you have to have a marketing plan. Now, let me be very honest with you. Marketing generally is the most difficult thing that speakers do to be successful because their energy is not really aligned with the energy of marketing. As speakers, don't you just love to create presentations or create ideas? Don't you wake up in the morning sometime with a brand new idea you can't wait to write about or speak about or talk about or share or whatever? Stuff just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, and you're always invited. You love it. You work with, you thrive on that. But marketing is doing the same thing tomorrow that you did yesterday and you did today, and continuing that process of doing the same thing and analyzing it and doing it different and analyzing it again. Now, it could be very interesting. And for me, I get interested and I'm good for 2 days. But on day 3, I'm off on something else because I get distracted. Maybe I'm a little ADHD. Maybe that's what speakers are in some cases. But I know that when I have had the most successful marketing, it's because I've had a team member who is very linear with it and does one thing, and then the second thing, and then the third thing, and does it again the second day. The one thing, number 2, and number 3. On day 3, number 1, number 2, number 3, and analyze 1, 2. It's just the same cycle. I learned with my youth that I did not want any routine in my world as a working environment. And so I don't have that because by design. But what I also learned is I need someone on my team who does have that and understands it well. So I would like to suggest to you that as you begin moving yourself forward in speaking and you want to get more speaking engagements, that you enlist a marketing person. You can bring in someone that you know. It is always more reasonable cost-wise to deal with someone who might be in another country rather than the United States, if that's where you're from, because we charge more here. And so you have the Philippines where you have a lot of people who are VAs, virtual assistants to people all around the world. So it's easy, fairly easy to find a VA in the Philippines. There are also organizations who have organizations of VAs. That's a little safer if you're not comfortable or not sure, because you have a point person who supervises the person who you've hired. Otherwise, it's you and the individual VA who may or may not meet your standards or meet your needs. It's up to you. You have choices. Main thing, you can research online and determine what might work for you. But for most coaches, we don't do that well with the marketing. And that's one of the reasons why coaches and speakers sometimes don't make a lot of money, because they don't have the marketing game together. So anyone who is good on marketing, this might be a good business idea for you to provide marketing services for speakers, because it is something that would be helpful. If your soul is calling you that way, you know a way that you can be very helpful. Now I want to talk about systems, and that's the last of my acronym for a rapid speaking system. And automation is something you must do unless you want to do everything yourself. You know, when you start off on your business, you're doing everything. And you're also learning what needs to be done, unless you come in with a bankroll and someone is financing you and helping you. But most of us, we start because we have this soul calling that's telling us to speak or coach or do something to help other people, or we're reflecting on our life and our experiences and our expertise and our passion and saying, I need to share this with people. I don't want other people to go through what I went through. Whatever it is that's going through your mind, that's telling you to speak, that's calling you to speak and share, remember to get automated as quickly as soon as possible. So number one thing you need to do is get a CRM system. A CRM system is a referral system where you're saving all the information of the people you meet. So when you go speak and people give you their business card or give you something to remember them by, what do you do with them? A lot of people put them in a shoebox and put them under their bed or something bizarre. But that's the source of your marketing. That's the source of your new clients. If you get information from people after you speak, that means they liked you. That means they might want to hear you again. That means you might want to stay in touch with them. So a CRM system will also, you can set it up so that it sends out emails to the people who have responded to you, so you can stay in touch with them. And what we recommend, especially as you're getting started, is that you send them something once a month. Call it a newsletter, call it information, call it a white paper, call it what you want, but just let them be in touch with you. Let them know what you're doing and what you're about. Give them a way to stay in touch with you and reach out to you if necessary. That list that you start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 100 emails, business cards, grows. It grows into thousands over the years. And you want to be nurturing those thousands of people all along, because every one of them are future clients. When the time is right, they will be future clients for you. So start the automation process. There again, you can bring a VA in to do that for you. Now, in addition to the Philippines finding VAs there, I like to recommend a company called Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. It used to be only $5 and they've raised their prices now, but I have had very little problems with anyone that I've hired from Fiverr. And when I first started my company for the first 10, 15 years, I used Fiverr a lot. They did book covers for me. They did, one group did my accounting for me for a while. They've done multiple things that have generally helped my business. So whatever it is you're needing, you need a book cover, you need something edited, you need some research done, whatever it is that you're needing, you can probably find it on Fiverr or one of the other systems and programs that are online that are designed to help you. So I've given you the foundation of the 5 steps in the order that you might want to do them. For example, you don't want to start marketing before you know your message. The real message comes first. And all of this will help you to meet your dreams. Whether your dreams are to have more clarity, that's something you can fulfill pretty quickly with the right focus. Or you want to have influence, influence takes a little bit more time. A network is a big part of both of those. So networking, meeting other people, other speakers, joining groups that are online, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. All of these things are set up for you so easy. When I started my business in 1996, none of this was set up. I had to go about putting things in the mail, buying stamps and sending them out, printing them hard copies and printing them out. Very expensive compared to how easy it is to do it now. But do it thoughtfully. Don't do it haphazardly, or don't take out a hatchet and just send things willy-nilly. Identify your market. Follow the RAPIDS, real message, audience, presentation, income, distribution, and systems. You can get your systems early, and as soon as you start getting email addresses, you want to find your CRM system and get things started so you can record those early ones that you receive. Whether you want a different lifestyle, more meaning in your life, more profit. Now, people who are soulful generally do better if they seek out in their speaking to speak for soulful people. A lot of people start out in speaking and they are focused on, I'm going to make money, I'm going to make money. I'm leaving my corporate job. I'm going to make 10,000 a speech next week. It doesn't work that way. And if you are a soulful person, which I assume you are if you're on this call, you want to make sure you are satisfying your soul's desire. So you want to go inside and listen carefully and make your movements based on your soul's acceptance, giving you the confirmation that you're going in the right direction. So when you decide what your real message is, ask yourself, how does this feel to me? You can test on everything that you're doing by sitting with it, being still, and seeing if it gives you calmness or if it gives you anxiety or fear or nervousness. Now, some nervousness is okay because it's just propelling you forward. But sometimes it is an indication that either you're moving too fast or in the wrong direction or with the wrong people, or something else just needs to be reassessed. That doesn't necessarily always mean changing your direction, but it does usually mean taking a pause and checking inward and determining, is this the next step or not? Or is this the right step? Or is this what I am being guided from my internal self, from the divine wisdom within me, from the messages of the energies that got me here, from my own spirit, my own soul? Am I in alignment? When you are in alignment, magic happens. And it happens well when you set up your speaking career with this system. First, make sure you know your message. I'm an excellent coach for that if you need to talk with someone. We have some programs for that if you're not clear on that. It may take a while to get your message straight because they do modify, because our lives modify. So the way you test to see if your message is the right one, ask yourself, does this message relate to my past? Does this message relate to my current, where I am in the world? Does this message relate to where I am going in the world? If you get yes for all three of them, then it's probably the right message for you to pursue. If any one of them you're unclear, I know the future is hard to predict, but we all have some vision of where we want to go, right? So where is it you want to go? And how does it feel when you tie your message to where it is you want to go? So think about that. Do that for all of them. When you get your audience and you say, this is my target market, take time and just see if it feels right. And then take time to see if the universe is in line with you, in that those people start showing up in your life, or you start reading about them, or you start seeing them on TV, whatever. Those are ways that you're getting confirmation. Same with the P. What makes you most comfortable? What feels right for you? What feels right for you with the income? Which speaking fee or coaching fee feels right? Maybe you think it's too high, you're a little nervous about it, but maybe it's okay. So that means you might need to check with some others in the industry to discuss the fees you have in mind and see what they think. I know when it comes to speaking, when I was going around the country talking to people about speaking, and I would ask people, who's getting paid to speak and how much are they paying you? And many people would tell me they've gotten $500 or $200 or $100. And occasionally I'll get a 5,000 or maybe even a 10,000. And what I recommend to people is that if you have a extensive background in something, so you're deciding to speak because you've mastered something and you have great expertise, or your experiences have been great, or you've written a book that's been very successful, then you want to say nothing under 1,500 when they ask you what your fee is. You can always say, oh, 500, well, I'm free that day and I can drive there, so I'll be happy to take that. They don't know you were totally open and never got that before. It may be your first time, but you act like it's just fine. But you always go a little bit up. If you really have done more, maybe you have a website, you've spoken a few times, you've got a little comfort level, you might go up to 3,000 as your quoted fee. That doesn't mean you won't accept something less than that. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward. Always be elevating yourself to the next level, but make sure you finish the level you're at before you step into it. Prepare for it, but don't step into it until you feel you're ready. The distribution, as I mentioned, get some help in marketing and get your systems, get your idea for systems quickly. Now, if you're brand new and you're what I call a new or emerging speaker and you need to start practicing, you need to get out so you can get your word out and start seeing how it's working. I recommend in the United States that you look at what I call the core four. These are 4 organizations that generally use speakers every time they meet. Most of them meet monthly, 1 or 2 might even meet weekly, but they look for speakers. Sometimes speakers can sell products. You can always use a feedback form, get people's business cards. Those 4 groups are the Kiwanis Club, the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, and the Chamber of Commerce. You can also add PTAs for those of you who talk with parents. So Kiwanis Club, Lions Club, Rotary Club, Chambers of Commerce. And they're pretty much in every city. And they're pretty much in every small city. So if you live in a big city like Los Angeles, then all the cities around, let's see, Beverly Hills, Westchester, Inglewood, just everyone, every city has those 4 groups. And it gives you a wealth of places where you can go speak. I know you're speaking for free. You need to do that to start, but guess what you can do while you speak for free? You can record it because you are going to need demo tapes down the road. You can get testimonials. You are going to need testimonials. Do those either written or in video. You can present a feedback form with the person's name and information who attended and give you feedback of what they liked and didn't like. And there where you have a database you can begin to put into your CRM system. You can sell products. Sometimes you can sell your book, or you can sell a chapter from your book, or you can sell a list of something. But think of something that you can sell or give away and have a receptacle to receive business cards. I think one of the ideal things you can do is what I call that feedback form, which is getting people's information and having them give you feedback and a written testimonial, because you can leverage that for the other things that you want to do that I put into this presentation that you can use to assist you to move forward. And let's see, what else do I need to tell you? Basically, just to do it. Remember that if you have fear of speaking, use it to your advantage. Call that excitement about speaking. A lot of times you get fear right before you go on stage. Just consider that pumping up your spirit and your energy to give you the rah-rah that makes people excited. Now, when I say rah-rah, I mean your authentic rah-rah. Some people come on stage and they try to be rah-rah, it motivates you, and that's not exactly authentic. Whatever you do, you want it to be authentic to who you are. I remember once when I spoke for the Toastmaster Speaker Bureau group, and they said, "Oh, Norma Hollis is here. She's so excited. We're so excited." 2 people introduced me in a very similar way. "We're so excited. Yada, yada, hip bamboo, Norma's here." And I just came on, "Hi, I'm Norma Hollis," because that's natural for me. If I had come in saying, "Yes, I'm Norma Hollis," it would have been very inauthentic. It would not have felt real. I wouldn't be able to help people feel the way I want them to feel when I finish speaking with them. So you have to be authentic. You have to be true to yourself. That's first and foremost on stage and in life. And when you're on stage, you want to be the same person you are when you're off stage. There are a lot of speakers that I met during my speaker bureau days who were not. They were one person on stage and something totally opposite when they got off stage. And what you want to be is consistently the same person. You might have different personality quirks, different way you show, like certain energies you show, and sometimes you might be high energy, and sometimes you just might be a little low energy, and you can control that. And these are all ways you bring your audience in and you help them to feel, help them to feel, help them to feel. You know, with what's going on in society now, people are not feeling really good. People are feeling fearful. People are feeling uncertain. People are feeling just bewildered and anxious. And as a speaker, you have a role to help overcome that. You have no idea sometimes how your words that may be secondary to you, you say them all the time. You may have no idea how just those words you might say of encouragement might take someone totally over a hump that they've been dealing with for a while. So bring hope, bring inspiration, bring motivation, bring confidence, bring all these things with you when you talk to other people and leave it with them. Leave them hope. Leave them feeling better than they were when they came. Leave them with as much of you as you can so they can overcome whatever challenges you don't know they're even going through. They may not even tell you, you may not even see it on their face, but trust me, people are going through challenges, and just your words can be just enough to take them over to another side. Come from your soul. Come from the calling that's within you. Come from the messages you dream about. Come from the vision that you project. Come from how you know you can help others, and turn that into a powerful message, the real message with the real you showing with great authenticity to bring others to their authenticity and to a joy in life that we can only imagine now in some ways, but we can bring forth by believing it and stepping into it and just allowing it to attract us by the things that we do and say. And you can help teach them that in whatever way that's comfortable for you. I encourage you to do that. I'm Dr. Norma Hollis, and that was my rapid speaking system. I hope you have picked up something or two or three that will assist you. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at info@normahollis.com. And I have a special invitation to you because in my work now, I am looking for speakers who are looking to learn more confidence, looking to clarify their message and to align their message to their soul's calling. You know, there's a time when I spoke when I wasn't aligned to what my soul was telling me. And I wasn't very successful during that time because I was doing it to make money rather than doing it to touch people. When I made that small modification of really reinforcing within myself that my personal objective is to change people's lives and the money will flow when it flows. I have never missed a meal, a mortgage payment, or a car payment. And when my cars have died, and I've had a few of them I've changed in the last 4 years, I was always able to get another one. So you're taken care of by the energies that sent you here when you align with doing what the energies sent you here to do. Does that make sense to you? I invite you to participate to one of my information calls because I'm seeking now speakers and coaches who resonate with what I'm saying, who resonate with following your passion, experience, and expertise, who resonate with having a clear message to change the lives of other people, who resonate with being around similar minded people who are seeking to make a difference in the world. So I invite you to join my network of like minded speakers and coaches because together we can make a big difference in the world. I have a free call, information call, every second and fourth Wednesday, usually at 1 o'clock, not always at 1 o'clock. So you need to register The link to register is right there, and you will get the information of the next call. I encourage you to do that because I work with speakers and coaches. I help them clarify their message. I help them speak it more effectively. I help them monetize their message, and I help them raise their vibration. That's one of the roles I think we have as soulful people, is to help others raise the vibration, is because raising the vibration is how we heal the world, how we heal ourselves and heal the world. And I think we all agree the world needs a little healing right now. Thank you for your time. I am Dr. Norma Hollis. I hope to meet you. I hope to see you. I hope to hear from you. Wishing you all the best. Go do your thing and share your message and do it with joy. Take care.